Water cooler. Ba-ba-ba-dum. Water cooler. Water cooler. Wow. Hey, welcome to Water Cooler. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for those return listeners, thanks for coming back. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Loxamana, kick it with my Corolla Digital Buds Philly style. And also Matt, Gary, and Galen. With me today, all the way in North Hollywood, California, we have Mike Dawson.
We call it Nohoka.
In Nohoka. That's right. And then also in Nohoka, Kalen Bean.
What's going on?
Hi, Kalen.
Hi.
We got everybody here today. Insomniac, Dawson. All the way in Austin, Texas, we got Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Matt. And then in downtown Los Angeles, Mr. Gary Smith.
What's up?
Hey, Gary. Good to see all you guys. First off, happy belated Matt. I can't wait to hear all about your birthday shenanigans. I assume that's what we're doing for Shay.
Yes, it's
Happy
the
birthday.
first of a two-part segment, all about the glory of my birthday. You guys are going to really appreciate it.
I must have missed that group text.
What group text?
You
Nobody group texted me. He said belated.
Dude, happy birthday, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
You did miss the group text. You missed the group Patreon podcast.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's right.
All right, so we got a lot going on. Then, Kalen, do you have a quarter update?
I have not received any state quarter.
I know. It's been too recent.
So, yeah.
I see some Facebook fan taking a picture of their quarters map, and they're almost done. And I think they started after you. So this is
really
definitely started after you. But
well, I must be getting close. So I'm gonna put all the quarters into the map that they gave me because I got to be getting real close here.
I love how you
they gave you or the one that Chris gave you?
I have no idea. Well, I know I'm pretty close, but I don't know how close.
Well, in the listener's defense, a listener gave me a map to give to Kalen. So I technically gave Kalen the map, so I should get a little bit of credit.
Yes. Dude, if it was in your hands last, you gave it to him.
Oh, yeah, then I gave it to you.
You might not have got it for him.
I think Kalen owes me then. That's for sure. And then let's see. So we got that going on. Gary, there's a huge Apple event that I think the only thing they really revealed was like, hey, Europe got us, and we're all moving to USB-C connectors for charging now. And then that's like their big announcement. They're trying to everything else seems pretty similar. Maybe the watch you can do a little tap it. Yeah, you tap your finger and your thumb and something happens.
Apple's really trying to make the finger tapping a thing. That's that's the way you control the Vision Pro too. Like they're really going all in on finger tapping and hand.
Can you explain this? I don't understand it.
All right, so basically,
do we have a Tech Talk intro we can play?
No, we don't.
We don't have a Tech Talk.
Okay,
this isn't. I don't think we have a joke corner either. So this will be a new one. But yeah, basically, Matt, they're using the sensors on the back of the watch as well as the accelerometer, which is kind of a thing that lets you know when you turn your iPhone to the side, and another piece of technology to basically figure out the exact haptics of when you hit your thumb and forefinger together. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I need to be looking up here. When you tap your thumb and forefinger together, it will do whatever the main action is on the screen that you're on. So if you're on a music screen, it'll play or pause it. If you are getting a phone call, it'll pick it up. If you are on a phone call, it'll end it. Whatever the primary
That's
thing.
if you're wearing a watch.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that now if I have an Apple Watch and I want to play the world's tiniest violin for someone, it could actually trigger violin music.
That's right.
This is just fucking national news. This is the greatest day ever. I'm buying a fucking watch. Happy birthday to Matt.
Make sure you get the Series 9 or the Ultra.
And what about all the finger symbol players? They're just going to be triggering their watch all day long during every set. You can't wear those watches.
I think you're going to have to bail out on the Apple Watch if that's your profession.
Well, it's just not fair. And they're missing a
Wear it while you're playing guitar, Chris, and see if you can break the system.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I certainly do a lot of other motions that. Okay. Anyway, so
yeah, will there be a shocker cue when you touch your middle finger to your thumb? Will that trigger something else on the phone?
Oh, see?
No.
All right. We got to test.
I'm just trying to do some fucking joke corner here. All right. Sorry.
Remember when they first came out, when Apple first came out with the fingerprint sensor, and everyone's like, "It works on your nipples."
I I don't think we need to bounce around the point. What you're talking about is the guy who immediately uses dick.
Yeah. That's well, there's an impression there too, but I was trying to make it a little more PG-13, Gary.
I mean, look, I love the inability of men to not like of course that happened the first day. Of
Yeah.
course.
Let's try this on everything. Yeah. Well, anyway, USB-C. I've been wanting them to move to USB-C for a long time. Weirdly, my iPad has a USB-C
So does mine.
charger already, so I feel like I'm ahead of the game. But yeah, all these lightning connectors are just gonna go bye-bye. And that's fine. The only thing cool about them was that you could flip them upside down when it was just regular USB, but now every USB-C does that, so whatever. So anyway, pretty boring Apple event, if you ask me.
They have an event for this?
Oh,
There's
it's huge.
there's a 2.5 hour long video presentation.
Oh my God.
Costs
This
millions.
could have been an
dollars.
email.
That's exactly right. That is the perfect gist of what that Apple event was. This could have been an email. It could have been a quick blog, and we could have all saved a couple hours of our day.
Did you like their comedy skit they tried?
Oh, I didn't watch it.
It was
I read the email.
it was interesting.
Well, it's never gonna. I don't think that stuff ever really lands that hard anyway. So I got my hair's cut last weekend, and the lady cutting my hair commented on all the gray hairs I've been getting. Like, oh, yeah, your hair's gonna get. She's like, hey, is your hair like usually this frizzy? And I go, the weather's been kind of weird, so maybe like, oh well, when you're completely gray, it'll be really frizzy. And look, I'm not one to really be that worried about my mortality. But whew, that one got to me. Like, you don't comment on that, but then at the same time, I have them. And I'm at this turning point, and I get them in my beard, and I just pluck them out. I don't really
Really?
yeah, I'm just like, got one, gone. If I see one, it's gone. But
Yeah, at
now,
this point, I wouldn't really have much of a beard.
yeah, see, I'm getting a lot more salt coming in compared to the pepper. And Jen, for some reason, loves it. She loves the gray. She's like, oh no, you gotta lean into this. But I don't know.
A
If
regular George Clooney now. Come on.
That's what I say, dude.
Is that
And on you, it's a greater contrast. You know, you can actually see your gray hair, so it looks good. You got fantastic hair, Chris. Chris, you got fantastic hair. Great hair.
Here's the thing, Chris. I think you gotta embrace the grays, and you gotta go to a different person to cut your hair, because that's just shitty fucking bedside manner when you're cutting someone's hair. I had a similar thing once, like 5 years ago. I went to a random person who I wasn't familiar with to cut my hair, and halfway through, she starts telling me when I'm gonna go bald, and I'm like, how fucking dare you? Like, first of all,
Now
no,
that is egregious.
there's no evidence to suggest that, but she's like standing behind me, and she's like, you wear a lot of hats? I just went, I mean, I've been known to wear a hat before. She goes, yeah, you probably want to slow down on that. It's going to accelerate the balding. And I was like, I was so pissed off. I sat there livid the rest of the time.
No tip for you.
Are baseball players more bald than other people?
No,
like
it's a
people who
myth,
wear
dude.
baseball
It's
hats
a
more?
myth.
That's
I think they
insane.
are. I think
I'm
they
going to go
are.
out on a limb here, Matt, and say that this chick wasn't a doctor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and
not
also
real.
does it depend on the kind of hat? What if you wear a cowboy hat? Is that increase or decrease compared to a trucker hat?
There is zero effect.
I don't know, man, because I know a lot of baseball players, and all like the college baseball players I know, bald.
They're all bald.
Like, they're losing their hair.
Mark
It's called
McGuire,
genetics.
Sammy
It's
Sosa.
called genetics. That is not. I wear hats all the fucking time.
That's true. You do.
You wear hats all the time, Chris. Are you ever gonna go bald? I don't think so.
Well, I started wearing hats late in the game, so I don't know. I'm getting a lot of grays now. Maybe they're falling
Okay.
out.
You wore them late in the game? Were you like 11 or 12? And you were like, what's this hat thing that
I wasn't a big
all these
hat
kids
guy.
are talking about?
No, the baseball players, they wear their hats every day for hours on end.
Only for fucking 6 months out of the year.
Still, it's a long time. No, they don't wear them outside of the season. Like, it's
Nope.
that plus whatever they wear them.
Nope,
I don't
they
know.
don't.
I personally think, and I know there's no science to back this, and it is genetics. But why are most of the baseball players I know bald? Why is that happening? There's something going on.
and you know it's genetics. Just back up a little bit when you said, and I know it's genetics.
I know it's
And let's move
probably
on.
genetics, but I mean, news.
Yeah.
It could be big hat. Trying to, yeah, I don't know. They're just taking away our hair. I don't know. So I've only dyed my hair once in my life.
What color?
Oh, I've dyed mine way more than that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've only dyed my hair once. It was in high school, and I dyed it black. And the reason being was, one, I wanted to know what it was like to dye your hair, and two, I didn't like the texture of my hair at the time. And people I knew, when they dyed their hair, all my friends like, oh, it changes the texture a little bit, so you can kind of style it a little differently. And I thought, oh, okay, I want new texture. I don't really care about the color. Just give me some new texture. And number three, if I have very black hair. So if I ever want to dye my hair an actual different color, you have to bleach it first. And I don't want to bleach my hair. I mean, it looks like it burns.
It does.
Yeah.
It's bleach.
It burns really fucking bad, and you have to sit there for a long time. Continue, and then I'll share.
No, just go, please. Please share.
When I lived in Santa Barbara, I was like, I was 23, 24 at the time, and came down to LA with a few girls I knew to stay with a few more girls I knew. And it was me in a house of 8 chicks. And we just partied all weekend and hung out. And I was just hanging out with 8 chicks. I fucking love it. One Saturday morning, we get up there on a Friday. Saturday morning, wake up. I go get a newspaper. I'm just sitting at the table reading the paper. And you know you're in trouble when you're in a house with 7 girls and all of a sudden it's quiet. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I know something's wrong. And I hear, Dawson, yes.
Come to bed.
Can we bleach your hair?
Oh, snap.
Yes. And
You have to
then
say
they get
yes.
all
You
fucking
have to say
excited.
yes. Just
And then
do
I
it.
got 7 chicks around me fucking, and it was wonderful. It was an ego moment. I fucking loved it. Here's the bad part, dude. We're in West Hollywood. And for the bleaching process after work, at least in this case, you have to stand outside in sunlight for at least 30 minutes with your hair wrapped in a fucking hairnet thing. And I'm standing out on the street smoking cigarettes, and I look insane in the middle of West Hollywood. And some 70-year-old man is just walking his dog, and he just takes a look at me and then shakes his head and puts his head down and just walks on by. It's like, there goes the neighborhood.
Oh.
And I was like, yep, I would probably look at me that way too.
The bleached hair look came back hard, especially with the younger generation. I think it
burns, by the way. Yes, it fucking burns.
I think that's why when our generation only did the tips. We didn't want it near our scalp.
Probably.
Yeah.
That was because
I was going to say that was my
big
only experience.
Yeah.
I never dyed my hair, but there was a time when I tried like what you would think would be frosted tips, but again, my hair is also so dark that it was really just kind of like copper, just a little bit of like copper color kind of highlighted through my hair, and that's when I was, probably 14 or something like that.
Really love.
That's it though. I've never dyed my hair or anything like that.
Oh yeah, see, same. So
Chris, one of the times that I dyed my hair, I wanted the tips, but I was convinced, rather misleadingly in my opinion, that the only way to properly get that look was to bleach it and then let it grow out.
Oh yeah, no, that's one way to get there.
You went full.
There is math to that.
I think I've seen a
3 months?
picture, Gary, of what you're talking about. I do believe I've been privy to said photographs.
You have. I don't. Yeah. They're not widely available, but if you come into my home, my mother's home, more to the point, there's a few around.
All right.
What about a future Model Money meetup?
Is facebook.com/. Don't you
freaking dare, Laura Lee.
or Joya.
My hacky space, Joy wouldn't dare.
Your happy space. Yeah, bleach tips was a big look. That I just think of bleach tips and like puka shells.
Yeah, you'll find a few pictures of me with those as well.
Kayla, what about you?
Yeah, I bleached my hair in the 3rd grade. That was the only time I've ever done it.
Grade
Third
class.
grade is a little young for that, isn't it?
That's
I think
aggressive.
I think that's right around when Eminem started getting big, and
Ah,
that was kind of the
yeah.
that blonde. Yeah. So
Caitlin was at summer camp with 8 girls, Doss, and he had
Yep.
to. Speaking of that stuff, dude.
I think you're going to see a lot of people with bleached hair in a couple weeks here. I think that
Why?
because I think that the most obvious, Halloween costume for this year is Barbie and Ken, and I think you're going to see a lot of dudes get forced into, going full Ken.
Yeah, that and Guy Fieri. It's just
That's every year though. I thought that was just a given.
Yeah. The Doss, if those girls opened the door and said not bleach hair, but hey, can we shave your head? Would you have done it?
No.
Okay, so you draw the line.
That's my do you want to watch me shave it? Then fine, maybe. But no. And no.
All right.
And just a solid no on that.
Yeah.
Just a solid across the board. That's just a flat no.
Let's double the
Why you
girls.
moved to no
What if
hook?
16 girls walked in your room and said, Can we shave your head?
What do I get?
All right, Chris, this has been a fun little trip down theoretical place. Why don't we take a left onto Logic Avenue?
All right.
Nothing dirty about that.
Nothing dirty. Yeah, Gary. What?
There was nothing dirty about that.
I'm simply opening the negotiation process.
That's weird for you.
You want to shave my head?
Right. Yeah, you got to shave somebody else's
What
head.
do I get? Right now, I get a bald head. So balance those scales, weigh them in my direction. You might have a ball game, but right now we ain't playing.
Yeah, so Jen wants me to keep the grays. In an attempt to look young, I offered her like, well, what if I got one of those cool slits in my eyebrow? You know, like the kids do?
Oh, sure.
What?
You know
You
what I'm
should
talking about,
definitely do
Gary?
that.
I do know what you're talking about, but you are
look.
that
Just
is
like
not a
the-
legitimate.
The
that was-
little like just a little line.
Just get a hoop. Just pierce your eyebrow.
I don't want it.
Chris.
I don't want it to hurt. I don't want it to hurt. So
It's gonna hurt.
I always thought that look was called I was attacked by a dog or a cat as a small child, and now part of my eyebrow doesn't grow
scars
properly.
You know,
I didn't realize
Chris-
people
Scars do that
actually
too.
did that shit on purpose.
but people do it on purpose.
Chris, shaving a notch in your eyebrow is just a gateway drug to a neck tattoo.
Really? Just go straight from.
You're gonna get there. You're gonna get
I
there.
see where he's going with this. It's not far off at all.
Really?
And I
that's
just
the
want to
path?
warn you now, man. Don't go down that. It's a slippery slope.
There may be a lip piercing on the way down. Just be aware.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have facial piercings? Ever want one?
Yes.
Which one, Doss?
Wanted.
Okay.
Oh.
At one point in college, I wanted a fucking hoop in my eyebrow. But I never did it because my mom would kick the shit out of me.
Right. You should have got the little slit.
It's a gateway drug, as I said, man.
The eyebrow piercing looks painful as hell. But maybe it's so thick there, it doesn't hurt that bad.
I mean, you're talking to fucking 5 dudes who have no piercings, at least that I'm aware of. I don't know what crazy shit Dawson's having, but
No piercings at all.
Gary's looking off to the left.
Oh, what did you have?
I haven't had anything.
Okay. I did think about a lip piercing for a while just because I love Blink-182 so much, and Tom, the guitarist, had a lip piercing. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean,
You're definitely gonna get a neck tattoo.
I'm
now that
already
you bring
wearing the
that up.
Hurley shirt and the Dickies. Might as well just go the whole way here and get that lip piercing. I didn't, but
This dude that interned for me back at K-Tide in Santa Barbara had a lip piercing, and at first it threw me off. But sometimes it's good. It works on some people's faces. It's like, yeah, Darius has a fucking nose ring. He's got a fucking bull's fucking
septum.
thing
on
his septum, like whatever, the full circle. And I'm totally fucking used to it. Like that's his face. It works.
Dude, I would not be able to stop trying to lick that thing just because it's like
That's why you don't get to
I'll
hang
play
out
with
with Darius. because we know you're gonna try to lick it.
Yeah, every time I look at Darius, I just want to lick his septum piercing. Yeah, just I fiddle with everything.
Didn't Gary say make a left on Logic Avenue? What the fuck
I
happened?
lick-
I feel like
I lick his septum piercing. It's such a bad fucking term. Keep talking about slits in your eyebrows. God, ugh.
What? This is Gary. This newsflash.
This is real talk, yeah.
This is
what the kids are
Generation
doing.
Z, buddy.
I'm trying to make you guys hip to what I've been seeing out there in the real world.
And,
Yes.
you know, and
Out
I
there.
don't live in the real world, but that's what I hear is happening.
It's
That's what
out
they're
there.
talking about.
It's happening.
Did we? Is it Generation Z? Is that what they're calling this next wave here, or has that
I think
already
they're
come and
called.
gone?
I think they're called Generation.
Yeah.
Well, I was glad that you said that because what I was going to say is we started way too late in the alphabet for this. Like when they came up with Generation X, they should have known.
Totally, dude.
Like,
might
we're gonna
have
run out of
lasted.
letters.
Yeah. So
It
I don't
is
know
not,
what we're
yeah.
gonna do now.
Yeah.
But
That'd
maybe
be
we
great,
should move
dude.
to sound effects like
Move
Austin
to-
just demonstrated.
Sound effects
That's
and
really good.
emojis. Like
Yeah.
Well, it kind of works out because they don't want to be labeled anything anyway. So I guess
Mm.
That's fine.
Gary's getting political. This is now we have to move on. Now we have to
now
move
we
on.
have to move on.
All right. Well, yeah, you guys need some comments?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Hey Matt, just so you know, I think that Gen X late in the alphabet joke. I think I'm stealing that. If that's
All
okay
right.
with you,
Yeah,
I
sure.
think that's
Go
going on
for
my Friday night show. It's nice little
Let me know.
quickie.
Just let me know how it goes.
I
Yeah.
will, dude.
If it goes well.
If it lands, you have to say that's what's on the menu and not address.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. 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 That becomes his line.
That becomes his kaboom. So every big laugh, you just that's what's on the menu.
Oh, he said it. He said it. All right, let's see. So Jonathan Young posted a meme that said shrimp and some head for $13. This got to be the greatest deal in the history of mankind. And it's a menu and it says shrimp with head on the menu. But obviously they're talking about shrimp with their heads on. And I just wanted to once again address this. Shrimp with heads on are way better than shrimp without heads on. The head is all the flavor. So if you ever see head as an option, get the heads if you want to taste something. If you want to taste, get
So
the
I'm confused. I remember seeing this, and I'm not that bright all the time.
no,
much
Dr.
of the
Snell
time-
said
some of the
it's not
time.
Very smart.
And I did not get the reference of shrimp and head. I saw shrimp with heads, and I was like, how insane is this person? Obviously, they cost more with the heads off because somebody had to fucking work and take the heads off. But that is nowhere near what this person was talking about. Am I understanding correctly?
You've
Correct.
come
That
to
is
the
not what they
correct
were talking
understanding.
about.
Okay.
It has taken a while, but you have arrived.
Thank you. I'm here.
Welcome.
I'm here.
Yeah, he got it. He got there.
Dawson took the bus while we all flew.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Eric Lepore. He said, we hosted our annual neighborhood cookout again this past weekend. As a hot dog connoisseur, I, of course, had a nice hot dog spread, chili, cheese, sauerkraut, all the fixins. I will once again say that hot dogs are the ultimate picnic food. This was probably discussed before, but I want to just solidify my opinion. And then he put up a picture of his dog. It's right here.
That looks so fucking good.
That's an A+ dog right there.
That is
And
an
I'm
A+ dog.
loving that he
Um,
provided both the chili cheese route and also the sauerkraut route. That's
Sour route.
the sour route. Thank you. I was right there too.
Route.
But
Route
Yeah,
route.
man.
I have questions.
I do too, which is exactly where is this and what time do I arrive next year?
Good question. And the bun, look at that bun. There's something about that bun. That's a fucking hoagie. That's a
That's
hoagie
soft
roll.
bun. That's a nice soft bun. You want to look, everything about this, Eric, is fantastic.
I'd eat the
And I will
shit
say
out of
this,
that.
we don't talk about warm toppings on hot dogs enough,
Mm.
but you got warm toppings, the cheese, the chili, maybe the kraut, If it's it could be warm crowd on there too. I'm just
Sure.
saying, we don't talk about that enough, and they must be addressed. Warm toppings on
We don't
dog.
talk about that.
We don't.
Gary's
So
better.
How's that?
Matt has an itch now though, and he needs to scratch it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of show left, Matt. I'm sure you're gonna hit one.
I will say that on your bachelor party, Chris, I had no less than 4 hot dogs that all of them had hot toppings.
Yeah.
Hot toppings are where it's at.
Yeah.
Those are some
agree.
great memories. That entire bachelor party experience. I've told many stories from that over and over again. So
Yeah.
well done, sir.
Well done to you guys. Hot toppings on the dog. I'm all about it. Jeffrey Lee says, Chris just saw Counting Crows last night. What are your thoughts on when the lead singer changes up the vocal melody and lyric delivery on the hits? Artistic nuance? Boredom from singing them for 30 years? Jeffrey, first off, glad you went to that show. I think, because I noticed it too. I think it is boredom. I think he just wants to change it up because I mean these bands, you don't realize how sick these bands get of playing the same song over and over again, even if they are hits.
I don't know. I think it's relative. I think there's a level of gratitude, but go on.
No, you're
These
right.
songs made them a lot of money. I think they know that and respect
like, for instance,
that.
the band Paramore, they went out and said, we're no longer playing the song Misery Business. They're the hit that made them famous, right? Because there's a line in there that says, like, you're a whore, nothing more. And they're like, oh, feminism. We're not going to say it. We refuse to play our hit song. And for years, they stopped playing. Dawson's already going nuts. Yeah. He's like, I just figured out the shrimp with head thing. So there are Paramore refused to play their hit song because they say whore, you're a whore, you're nothing more in like the second verse. It's like you barely hear it. And then now they play it again for a couple reasons. One, it got huge on TikTok, like way big on TikTok. It was so it was a big deal. And two, they just got over their reason. They understood the gratitude that they need, that they have for the fans, that it's a song that made big. And they like now when she goes up, she's like, hey, we stopped playing this song. To be honest, it was because we were sick of it. But and you know,
of course, what else are they gonna say?
We're gonna say
they saw a chance to virtue signal. They fucking took it, thought they were gonna score some points. People were like, fuck that, dude. It's a great song.
Play
it's
the
a
horse
song that made you.
Yeah.
And then they needed an excuse to get back and play it. Absolutely fuck that. I say I have the word whore in lyrics in 2 songs on my last record, and I will never fucking change them.
Dang.
Respect all women.
Ooh. And back to the original question that Jeffrey Lee was asking about. I understand that artists get bored and they want to find new ways to entertain, and so they'll want to change up the lyrical pattern in a hit song. I'll give you 1 or 2 of 5 hits, but the majority we want to fucking sing along with, and we can't sing along with you when you're singing it wrong. And it really fucks with your brain when you're trying to sing a song and the singer of that song is singing it wrong.
Changes it up. Yeah.
Just to add on to what you're saying.
So
we're all used to hearing people sing it the wrong way. That's generally how we're going to hear this song. Now is the chance we've paid money to hear someone sing it the way we'd like to hear it sung.
I didn't pay to see a cover band.
Yeah.
Or what the fuck?
I see.
I don't know. I'm angry about that whole thing, and I love Counting Crows. Although it depends, man. I mean, I will give Adam Duritz complete leeway on Anna Begins.
Oh yeah.
And a few other songs. Well, I'll be like, because he has very, very floaty lyrics. And he can do shit different and get away with it more. But if you're doing Mr. Jones and Me, just fucking sing it right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of that song. But anyway.
You bite your tongue. That song is awesome.
It's a great song. I rewatched that after we discussed it last week.
So, and I will say, Jeffrey, that there's just so many lyrics, too. It's hard to sing along with those songs. So maybe he thinks, like, I can change it up a little bit. Whatever.
But that's the cool part. Dude, one of the funniest fucking things. One of the best parts about specifically Counting Crows shows is, you know, they have a very dedicated fan base.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of call and response kind of hidden beneath the fucking tracks. You know, if you're not paying close attention, you'll see a fucking group of like, if you're seeing them in like a 800 seater or something, you'll see a group of 300 people at the front just fucking hit all the claps right at the fucking right time, dude. It's a community fucking performance thing. I don't know, dude. I love Counting Crows.
Me too.
Fucking
Dawson,
love that
for
band.
someone who doesn't change the your lyrics, I tend to do that with covers like more times than not. I will say even like the last 3 shows, maybe 5, last 5 shows I played, like a little kid will come, or a few little kids will come like running up, or you know, they're their parents, and I have some songs, either covers or originals, that have some sexual or drug references.
Yeah.
And I get nervous. So, like for instance, we play "Sex and Candy,"
Right.
by Marcy Playground a lot when we play, and like Mikey and I were playing at a wine bar, and we go into "Sex and Candy," and all
Now
of a
you
sudden
change it to Sex and Chocolate. I appreciate
his
that.
family walks in, yeah, and I look at Mike, I'm like, I'm not gonna sing sex. It's in like chorus, like I'm not gonna start, and it's in a pause too, like I smell sex, and then sex is the word sex, sex, is very
Wait, what's that word?
prominent. Sex. I'm just gonna spell it for the kids. Is very
Okay.
prominent because there's no instrumentation really under it, right? Because like
Right.
pause and then I say it. So I go to
Deliberate.
Mikey and I go, Mike, what do I like? We're playing. I'm like, Mike, what do I do? He's like, say milk and candy. Just say milk and candy. Nobody will know. Like, I smell milk and candy. So it's like,
Yeah.
like
You
Mikey
didn't do that, did you?
Oh, I certainly did, but I smell
Chris.
milk again.
Yeah, dude. What it is that I do the same thing. If I'm playing a
That's awesome.
place and there are like 11-year-olds around, I'm not gonna fucking totally enunciate pimps and tricks and cocaine whores. I'm not gonna say that line, but it's gonna say pimps and tricks, cocaine whores.
Oh,
You know,
I see.
you denunciate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, play the radio
You
edit.
and you use the microphone to get away from it, and then without being untrue to your song, you can protect delicate ears.
See, I think you guys are both overthinking it. We, as small children, turn to the arts to explain things and express things to us that no other adults will do. I will never forget being a young child listening to Blink 182 on headphones, singing What's My Age Again, and not understanding a certain part of the song, taking my headphones off and then looking at my parents and asking them, what is sodomy? And my parents had to explain to me what that was. First, they said, what the fuck are you listening to? And then I explained it was Blink 182. But that was a moment that we shared as a family. And without me hearing that word, it would never would have happened.
That's pretty good, man. When I asked my
You're
mom
right.
what does
Great
fuck
memories.
mean, she slapped me in the face.
Wow.
Different parenting styles.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I remember listening to like the first Eminem album. Like, what are those guys from ICP doing?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's this comment, we talked about it, but I just want to bring it up again real quick. This is Dan Churchman, and he says, I'm getting close. I got an America
Feel it.
Samoa state quarter this morning. But
Oh
look,
man, that's not even fair.
Galen, that is quite the collection of quarters, Dan. So just
Now,
impressed.
here's the thing, though. We don't know what Dan's ethics and morals are when it comes to receiving quarters. He could be searching for quarters. That's not what Kalen does, okay? He only counts the ones that
Good
happen
point.
upon him naturally.
True. So Dan, we need to hear your method. Stephanie Lynn Rinker says, yeah, Gary, we hate it too. What does that mean?
What does that mean? We probably do, though.
Gary's like, I don't know. I hate a lot of things.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mentioned a lot of things I hated. Like, I don't. Yeah, we're gonna need a little more specificity, Stephanie. Mark Cooper, he says, I love Kansas, and then posted the Salt Lake City Arch. So there you go. Man, that That one will never die. That's fine. That's
So
fine.
good.
Wait, did you know you were screwing it up right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say yes now. Also, because stop. It's like it's. Let's see. Sarah Jacobo says happy birthday, Matt.
Oh,
That
thank
was
you.
Hey,
Bucky's.
It was a great birthday.
You know, why don't we move on to some Shay, because I want to hear more about this birthday. But anyway, those are the comments, everybody. Thanks for writing in. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to write in a comment, go to our Facebook group. It's very easy to join. If you are not a member of this group, this is the kind of stuff you're missing out on. Pictures of quarters, arches, and
Don't try to explain it. Let's just give the link.
Facebook.com/groups/Bobo Boy Army Worldwide LLC. You go to that hyperlink and you just join. Answer a few questions. And I'll let you in. I don't even remember. I'm not used to doing this at
Just
the
tuned
end.
himself out, I think.
So I'm like, I'm doing myself. Wait a minute, are you tuning out?
No, just the way you did it. You were like,
sorry.
listen, I've been there
So,
too. I've done
the
it
way
many
my brain
times.
was working is I watched Superbad today.
Yes.
And we're gonna do this for our next movie club. So I watched it, loved it, and a note I made from Superbad was they talk about a website called Vagtastic Voyage,
Yeah.
like, and I thought, is that the best fake website from a movie ever? And then when I said RURL, because I want to put it up against like Creed Thoughts and that Mr. Skin website they were doing it knocked up. We'll talk about the movie club, but
Sure.
like just so I thought, okay, Vagtastic Voyage might be number one though.
Chris, did you check to make sure it's a made up website? Shane, got to do your research.
You got time. You got time
Yeah, I
before
guess-
we record the movie
Very
club.
true. Very
Jenny,
true.
Jenny, it's work.
It's
All right.
work.
Be reasonable. It's work.
You can write off the membership too.
All right, here we go. Here's some shade on the leg.
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the menu?
All right. Well, like I said, this is going to be the first of two parts because, as is the tradition around here, when I'm going out, I want to go get cocktails and then we're going to go get dinner. So that's how I'm breaking it down. We went for my birthday to a place called Midnight Cowboy Modeling Oriental Massage. And that's exactly what it says on the Uber. And the Uber driver was very curious where he was taking us. This was a place that was at one point a brothel and a massage parlor, but of course it's a speakeasy now. And this was one of those real, you need to know where it is. You need to know how to get in. It's actually just a red light bulb on the outside. And there's like it kind of looked like one of those call pads you would see if you were like in Brooklyn with just different names and buzzers, and you have to know which name to buzz. And then, they open it up and there's like a gate there and they make sure that you got reservations before they let you in. So very, very exclusive place here.
How did you
Now-
know all the steps?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. I did not know, and I made the reservation, and we showed up, and I saw this buzzer list, and I did not know what to do. Now, I eventually realized they did at some point email me which name to push, but there was several minutes where I was just like, bzz, 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 just pushing every single one, and nobody would answer me, and I was like, this is never gonna work. But they did.
Did you order the grub and tug?
No, that was not on the menu.
Yeah. I remember one.
Unfortunately.
The red light bulb I went to a speakeasy in Italy. I went to Italy last year, guys, and there's a speakeasy with a red light bulb, and that's how
You
we
should have
found
told
it.
us about that.
And then
Yeah.
there was
Seems
a,
like something
then-
weird to just glance over.
and then in San Diego, I remember we went to. I think you've probably been to this speakeasy, Matt, the one with all the skulls on the wall. But
In San Diego? Yeah, Lost Idol. False Idol.
Yeah, false idol. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
remember to walk in, you walk in like this kitchen area, and then there's this wall of kegs. And I remember like we were looking for the entrance, and we hit a dead end, a wall of kegs, and these people were in front of us. Like, all right, well, we're turning around. So Jen and I turn around, and we look back, and the people were gone. They were just gone. They disappeared, and the entrance was the wall of kegs with a false wall, and it was like fake kegs, and that's how you opened it. So that's how we found that one. But yeah, the finding how to get in is half the fun.
That is half the fun.
Hey,
Sorry,
Matt,
guys.
speaking of-
I got to run. I got
Oh,
more podcast.
bye, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow, though. Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
All right,
Yeah,
back to
Yeah.
you.
dude.
Patreon.com/watercooler.
Yeah, speaking of half the fun, is that where the second portion of this Shea Fond delay will be? Or are you waiting and dropping it on this feed?
Oh, that'll be on the Patreon as well.
Good.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
why don't you go
Is that
subscribe?
what's on the menu?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't even
pushed all
been
the buttons.
transported. I haven't even
Yeah,
been
I was
transported to another
confused,
place yet.
That's
Still in
true.
an alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just in the alleyway at this point.
Right.
But yes, we did go through the door. We were transported to another place, and it's a really dark, old school, a lot of exposed walls, very intimate space, like a lot of these cocktail bars are. And I enjoy that. I like that. I swear that I did not know this in advance, but it turns out this place has cocktails and cart cocktails where they wheel out the cart and they make the drink in front of you and your table.
Like tableside guacamole.
Tableside guacamole cocktails. That's right. Now,
Of course you did that.
absolutely. Of course I fucking did that.
Question, Chris, is not whether or not he did it. It's how many times.
Well,
Because
me just
between
say.
him and Julie, there's a potential for 4 or 5 cocktail cart trips here.
well, we did 2 rounds. And yes, there were cocktail and or cart cocktails involved with both. So the cart
Do you
did
each
come
get
out
a
for both
cocktail, or
rounds.
do you order one at a time and you split it and then
No,
order?
we each get our own cocktails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waiter hates you.
As the
They
cart
love
was
us.
leaving the
They
first time,
love us.
as the cart was leaving the first time, did you say, like, see you in 2 hours?
You're funny.
It seems like one of those places where you have a time limit.
You do have a time limit. That's right. But that's fine because we drink fast. So that's no problem on my end. But
Chris,
I will
heard
say
the time limit thing wasn't invented before Matt left California.
Yeah, this is a
The local new thing in Austin.
yeah.
so we did 2 rounds of these cart cocktails. And the first time the cart came, I was like, I'm just gonna live in this moment. I'm gonna enjoy this being made in front of me. But when it came around the second time, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna film this for the water cooler guys. They want to see this cart cocktail experience. And let me tell you, I really fucked up, and my camera was in camera mode and not video mode, and the flash came on. I was trying to be all smooth, and the entire restaurant lit up, and the fucking every head in the restaurant looked at me. The waiter was like, "Oh, you blinded me," and I was so humiliated that I couldn't film it. But I want you to know that I tried.
This brings me so much
man.
more joy than that video ever could have.
It was super duper embarrassing.
I
Let
did
me
that
just
at that
say-
acoustic show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an intimate acoustic show, and I tried to just film it real quick, and the light went off, and everyone turns around and looks. It's embarrassing.
It's super embarrassing. I'm not going to go through all 4 cocktails, but I do want to talk about 2 different cocktails because we essentially ordered what ended up being savory cocktails, which
Gravy.
well, let's get into it. So the first one, the one that I got, was called the Influencer.
Broth.
Well, it's funny you say that because it was Wagyu fat washed bourbon. Okay. It also had this toasted corn mezcal called Vago
Is it
Elote.
Wagyu?
Wagyu.
Oh.
Why you make me
like the-
pronounce it again?
The steak, the Japanese massage.
It's
Yes.
called Vag Adventure.
Also some strawberry tincture, pineapple gum, which turns out is not actually gum, but some sort of sugar, and black lemon bitters. And let me just say, I also don't know what a black lemon is. They were not kidding with the Wagyu fat washed bourbon. It really tasted like somebody filtered boorbon through a steak.
Nice.
And it was probably the
Brothy.
manliest, brothiest,
Yeah.
almost like waxy. It was like
Sure, that's what fat is.
fatty cocktail. It was very odd. It was good. I felt very manly drinking it, certainly,
You
but
did?
I did.
You shouldn't have.
Why? It was a steak bourbon.
It's directly inverse
drinking
to
a
the
craft
amount of
cocktail out of-
ingredients, Matt.
You're drinking a craft cocktail at a fucking speakeasy where you had to buzz the buzzer and then they fucking brought a cart over to you. This is
Yeah,
the antithesis of being manly.
A guy wearing a white button-up shirt buttoned up to his chest and suspenders. It's like, what year is it, man? And he's gonna make you a cocktail. Come
You
on.
guys need to rethink manhood. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ah.
Turn
Wow,
inwards. All
nice.
right. Time to
You're
turn
right.
inwards,
Back.
fellas.
What is
Well,
your
let me-
bourbon fat soaked?
Sorry. Wait.
bullshit.
So Matt's drink, the influencer, made him feel really manly.
It
Yeah.
made me feel very manly. Again, it was good, but it was also one of the first times that I've been like, just because you could doesn't mean you should. Maybe let's pump the brakes a little bit. Like just an old fashioned, little maple old fashioned. You put a little piece of bacon in it. I've seen that done. That's fine. A little twist on it. It was intense. It was good, but it was a little intense.
Crow singer just singing a weird song. Like, just give me a little bit. I need a little bit more foundation here from.
I'm sorry,
Mr. Jones.
I am sympathetic to a certain extent with what you're saying, but
you don't need to be sympathetic. I ordered this.
We're searching out the most extra places in the world and then complaining that they're being too extra. Like, I need to know, I'm sorry, but what's the over under on price here? I'm setting it at $25 for that cocktail. What were we paying there?
If I may, let me get to that at the very end, because I do have that as part of this segment.
Have that planned? Then I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's okay. All right. This was the other drink, the other savory cocktail. It's called the Expletive. And I asked them, because it was originally written with just the comic style with the and the dollar sign,
like the symbols.
Insert your own curse word, And I said, what do you guys actually call it? And he said, we actually call it the Expletive. I said, okay, that is how I shall refer to it. Tequila, aquavit, which is kind of like a Norwegian liqueur. It's kind of like gin or like a savory vodka. Aperol, which Chris, I think you've been to Italy before. You may recall that.
Yeah. Big
lemon. So this sounds pretty normal so far, but buckle up, because the last three elements is cantaloupe, egg white, and blue cheese.
I'm fine with all that.
This is very difficult to describe all together.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Tasted to me like a cheese enchilada. Like somebody put a cheese enchilada in a blender and then made me drink it.
Okay, that's weird. Do you have to chew it?
There was no chewing.
Okay, so the blue cheese, wow,
this is part of the egg white foam. Let me tell you, with good reason, this was not good. I thought this is surely a mistake, but lo and behold, my wife, she actually thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Thankfully, I ordered like more of a traditional, like a kind of like a martini style drink for that round. So all was well in the world. But to get back,
that helped up your man status.
It sure did. To get back to Gary's question about the price,
you make sure you got a stemmed glass.
Oh, the glassware is beautiful, Dawson. Oh, don't even get me started. Just so thin and delicate. Yeah. Oh, so manly.
You look good holding it.
Piggy's up. So here's the thing. I've been to many of these places before, and it'll say on page one, all cocktails, $20. And it'll be, a 10-page menu, and there won't be any prices. But you saw, okay, everything here, it's overpriced. Everything's $20. This menu also had no prices on it. And when I got, which is fine, I don't care. I assume they're just all going to be $20. Or maybe the cart cocktails have a slight premium, which I would understand. That makes sense. When I got the bill, the 4 cocktails that we got were all completely different prices, from between $16 and $25. But it was like 16, 17, 18, and 25 or something like that. And it should have just been 4 for 20. Like, actually, I think I saved $1 based on their price structure. It just was really confusing to me, and it felt a little bit shady to not put the price on the menu if, in fact, you're going to have different prices for the cocktails. But again, like you said, Gary, I'm going to these places to try the most extra stuff, and I'm not going to order something on the menu that I can kind of try to make at home. So I do try to look at things that are going to be something I would never, ever be able to get. But again, it's very artistic, and I appreciate it, but maybe just a dash too much. Just a dash.
Yeah.
The danger factor is there, though.
Oh, that blue cheese foam. That was fucking
danger factor written all over having drinks in what used to be a
weird.
Massage parlor, dude.
Yeah.
I'd want to verify the cleaning crew before I had some meals in there.
Well,
I'm so sick of foam. Stop doing foam, people. Nobody likes foam. Get enough of the foam.
Well, there is a incredible foam-free birthday dinner to get into on our Patreon. But until then, that's what's on the menu.
Lovely, man. I'm glad you had a good time, buddy. Yes.
Thank you. It was a great time.
All right. So lastly, before we get out of here, I just have a quick question for all you guys. What are your thoughts? And I know Matt has done this inadvertently, but have you ever confronted the kids in your neighborhood about something, like because they're being weird or dumb? Because
sort of.
Okay, because I don't know how to do this. So yesterday,
Kids that I know though, so it's all.
I don't know these kids, but yesterday there was a group of kids in my neighborhood playing like soccer in the alley behind my house, and I'm already looking outside my backyard because there's a cat there, and I'm watching the cat do his cat things, and then and I see a soccer ball just fly over the fence and land kind of by my apple tree, in the backyard, and I go, oh. Let me go get my shoes and run out there and toss the ball back because I know how this feels. I've had many balls go over to neighbors' yards. I've hopped fences. I've just knocked on their doors. Very Sandlot style. I'm basically James Earl Jones in this story, and I can toss the ball back over to them and let them continue to frolic during their wonderful day off. So I'm getting my shoes. I come back, and right as before I walk out into the backyard, I have these French doors so I can see through them. I see a kid take my fence because it's like an older fence, and he rips off the plank, sticks his hand into my backyard, takes the ball, tosses it back over the fence, and just puts the plank back up haphazardly. So it's just like hanging off, and they continue to play. Now there are like 10 kids playing soccer there, and I'm thinking, all right, what the fuck? So I saw the whole thing. Like, who the fuck does that? And I'm thinking, okay, I could go back there and yell at these kids, but that's unwinnable. I mean, these are teenagers. They're playing soccer. Like, I'm just going to walk out there, hey, who did this to my fence? And then scold them. And then what? Oh, sorry, we didn't know, or we didn't do it, or whatever. Like, it just seems unwinnable for me to even do anything at that point. But man, it made it grind my gears. I texted gentlemen, you're not going to believe what just happened. I saw the whole thing. Yeah.
So how are you preparing for this for the future?
I don't
Have you
even
considered traps or some form of a
traps might work. It might be traps.
Yeah, set trap.
Electric
Really?
fence, Jurassic
Yeah.
Park
No,
style.
dude, you're overthinking it. All you got to do is really nicely just go out there and say, "Hey, what's up, dude?" I don't care that you guys play soccer back here. That's cool, but please don't fuck with my fence, dude.
Yeah. Wait.
This shit costs money.
I can be cool about it. I can just be cool.
Yeah. Just be like, just please.
I was too
and have a good time. Fucking
I was too heated. But
play
yeah, it's a good idea.
whatever you're fucking playing, but please.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like, that's what you do? You didn't even try to hop it? You don't even have
you hop the fence.
Just hop the fence. Don't rip my fence off.
Exactly.
Fucking soccer ball.
Now,
What's wrong with you people?
Chris, I have an alternative solution. You can get take one of the tables that you have, like the folding tables, and set it up in the backyard the next time that they're playing soccer, and then just slowly start cleaning your gun. And if anyone walks by, just go, nice looking fence I got there, huh? Just continue cleaning. When you're done, put the table away, go back in the house. I think your fence will be okay.
That's so scary and maniacal, and I love it. I see Gary works a psychological angle that I didn't even think about either. Very nice. All right. Well, anyway, now it's that time for us all to go around the horn, get our plugs in before we get out of here because we got a lot of pod this week. So I will start with Matt. Matt, for this week, what do you suggest everyone check out?
Yeah, sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. Right now, we put up one of our movie clubs, our first ever movie club is on the $5 feed. So you can check that out and it'd give you a chance to kind of get the Patreon experience, twice the amount of content, at least. We're coming up on a 6-banger, I feel like, something crazy like that. So check all that out. And I also do another podcast called The Presumption. So subscribe to that as well.
All right, beautiful. Definitely follow Matt on Twitter and subscribe to The Presumption. Matt's on that, so please listen to that show. Gary, so about you.
I will echo Matt's plea to go check out the water cooler. On top of the free movie club that we've got out now to sort of expose everyone to our new format. If you subscribe, you instantly get access to the back catalog, and that equates to hundreds of different hours of shows and movie nights and all kinds of stuff. So that's really the best way to support us. So go check that out. I'm also on a legal podcast. I don't know where that idea came from. It's called Reasonable Doubt. And if you would please go subscribe to our YouTube, we're getting very close to a milestone that we're very much anticipating and watching. So if you would just please do me the favor, youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt podcast, hit subscribe, and then go on with your life.
Yes.
You guys having a watch party like in the Facebook movie?
Oh, yeah.
Are you about to hit 1 million? Are you gonna click over 1 million?
Justin Timberlake's gonna call it.
Yep.
No, we have less ambitious goals.
Oh, well, please subscribe to Reasonable Doubt, everybody. Go on YouTube right
That's
now.
awesome.
It's one click. Just press subscribe.
Congratulations.
Be a part of that channel. Gary's on that show. Doss, any legal podcast you want to plug?
No, not today.
Okay.
Maybe next week. I don't know of any. So
Pretty funny.
but I've been doing stand-up every weekend for the past 6 months now. I got a show Friday night in North Hollywood Comedy Chateau. Get tickets online or just tell them you're there to see me. And it's free tickets.
Boom.
Just say Dawson. So the code is Dawson, all caps. And that's on Twitter at Dos Angeles. Also hit me up on the Cameo, I guess.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it works, but nobody's hit me up yet. It's under Mike Dawson, I think. But that'd probably be something to know.
Boom. Yeah, you should be.
And yeah. And get excited because on the Patreon show, I'm going to tell you about an epic weekend I had this last weekend. Doug Laux came to town.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture. I have some thoughts about it myself.
And we infiltrated the Taliban and Al Qaeda and disrupted an underground IED network in Afghanistan, all in 48 hours.
That's a hell of a bar crawl.
I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story on Patreon this week.
Dang. And we just heard about Matt drinking broth. Like,
Yeah, do they make fancy cocktails at Al Qaeda? Is that one of those hip spots? You got to know the code to get in.
I'm sorry, it's Al's Qaeda.
Oh.
Yeah. It's spelled totally differently. It's a dive bar. Al's Qaeda.
Great cocktails and beer selection though, nonetheless. Yeah. And then as for me, subscribe to Patreon. I think that's it. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Have be happy. Tell the people you love them, and we will see. Oh, and watch Superbad. Still holds up. That movie's fucking awesome.
So funny.
It's on Netflix right now. We're going to talk about it at our next movie club. All right, that'll do it for Water Cooler. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging with us. We're back for a lot more this week on Patreon. We love you, and goodbye.